So you'd like to lose weight and in the process potentially incorporate some more plants into your diet, and that's your strategy to do so. Unfortunately, plant-based eating isn't the most convenient thing, and sometimes that dissuades you from doing that. Today, we're going to talk about 5 things you can do to make plant-based eating even that much more convenient. Let's get to it. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Mike Thomas. I'm a health coach, board certified. I help people to lose weight by incorporating more plants into their diet. If you find value in this video, I would love you to share it, like it, or even make comments below where you found value. Also, feel free to subscribe to the channel as well. So in all reality, plant-based eating is not the most convenient thing. It's not going through a drive-thru at McDonald's in 5 minutes or 15 minutes, depending on how long the line is, and getting your food and consuming your calories. There is a degree of preparation that needs to go into this. But the first thing I want you to think about in that preparation, let's call it 2 or 3 hours a week. Maybe it's 1 to 3, maybe it's 2 to 5. I don't really know specifically depending on you and your needs. But I want you to think about, is it worth it? Is it worth it to potentially lose weight, to gain more energy, to decrease your blood pressure, to potentially reverse type 2 diabetes, and to even lower your cholesterol level? And I'm not being sarcastic, because a lot of us know that when you consume a ton of plants and have lots of healthy water all day, and you're full and you're happy, you typically have more energy, you lose weight, you lower your cholesterol, and some of the other things that I mentioned. But even though we know, we don't always do. So I just want you to think about it, is it worth it? And if you think it's worth it, and you know that it's going to take maybe an additional 1 to 4 hours a week in doing what you need to do to make sure that when you're hungry, you're fueling your body with healthy foods, then we can move forward. If not, you probably just need to stop watching the video right now. Because this video is for people who see that the price that they're going to pay with their time and their commitment will be more than worth it, and the benefit of better health for themselves. So because plant-based eating is not the most convenient thing, I like to look at what are the top 10 things that you can do to increase the efficiency in your life as you're consuming plants. As when you're hungry, you've got the healthy plant-based foods readily available for you. In this video, I'm going to address 5 of those things. The first one is menu planning in advance. Okay, so I'm going to just give you a general scenario. Some people do it on Thursdays, some people do it on Sundays, but you literally plan out what meals, and this is primarily dinners, you literally plan out what meals that you're going to have for the upcoming week. So let's just pretend like it's Sunday, okay? Sunday you say, okay, I'm going to be making 2 or 3 plant-based meals over the course of the next week, and you'll see why it's just 2 or 3 and not 5 to 7 in just a moment. What are those meals? What are you missing as far as ingredients goes, and what do you need to shop for? Taking that time to plan out your meals in 15 minutes, 10 or 15 minutes, can help you immensely in the future by ensuring you have the plant-based healthy foods readily available for you to eat. From there, the menu planning process then is the shopping process based on what you need to buy, and then you have everything on hand that you need for that upcoming week. And that rolls, of course, to number 2. And number 2 is the prep process. So some people, let's say you're going to be cooking 3 plant-based meals over the course of the week. Some people will cook the meal the day that they're going to eat it. And that's fine. You know, I typically do that myself. Many of my clients do that myself. But I also sometimes, as well as some of my clients, will spend 3 or 4 hours on a Sunday afternoon, or 2 to 4 hours on a Sunday afternoon, prepping their meals. So they're making a soup, they're making salad mixture like a chickpea salad sandwich, they're making a bean chili, they're making 2 or 3 meals over the course of about 2 to 3 hours. Now all their meals are pretty much ready to go. All they need to do is heat those up when it comes time for dinner time, Monday through Friday in the upcoming week, right? So really locking into the efficiency of doing all that work in the kitchen over the course of probably 2 to 3 hours. That's number 2. Number 3 is golden, and that is batch cooking. I do this, all of my clients do this. This is fantastic because you can spend, let's say, I don't know, I typically spend 30 to 45 minutes making a meal, a recipe. You could literally spend that same amount of time and make 2 recipes of the same thing, i.e. you're making twice as much, or I actually make 3 or 4 times as much as many of my clients do as well. Because we'll have that meal, let's just say it's a bean chili or what have you, over the course of Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And the extra then on Thursday night, I then freeze it for a future date over the course of the next probably 2 to 3 months. So I've now spent 45 minutes and I have 4 meals, which is basically about 10 minutes a meal in preparation if you average it out. Batch cooking is huge, and it rolls to my 4th idea, which I just mentioned, which is freezing, right? So just know that when you freeze the item that you've made, you now can use it several weeks or even months down the road. It helps tremendously because maybe you don't want to have chili 4 days a week. Maybe you just want to have it 2 days a week, right? Maybe you just want to have it 3 days a week. But by the 4th time, your wife says, and this might sound familiar to me, hey, can we maybe try something else? That is now frozen, and you can try that chili down the road, in probably 45 to 60 days or what have you. You just mark it on a freezer bag, on a Ziploc bag, and you throw it in the freezer. So that's number 4, another way of making plant-based eating that much more convenient. And the last idea is very simplistic, and that's called one-pot meals. And I'm just going to give you an example of what that could look like. It could look like any number of things. You can make casseroles with one-pot meals, etc. But I have several clients that, as they are going through their vegetables, the vegetables are getting ready to expire, and they have a number of vegetables. They've got potatoes and onions and celery and carrots and maybe some green pepper in the refrigerator. In the next couple of days, it's going to go bad. So what a lot of them do is they literally chop them up. They put them in the oven. They sprinkle some onion powder on it. They sprinkle some garlic powder on it, and they literally roast those vegetables. Now those vegetables are cooked and they're good for another 3 to 5 days in the refrigerator. That's an example of a one-pot meal. It takes time to roast the actual vegetable, but the preparation time is maybe 10 or 15 minutes, right? So we're looking for ways to make this process as convenient as possible. I've got a blog coming up, or maybe it's even attached to this video, where I talk about 5 other ways to make plant-based eating more convenient. The reason I bring this up is, like I talked about in the beginning of the video, really what makes sense for you is working through those extra 30 minutes, 45 minutes, hour, or whatever that week going to be worth it to you to help you with better health. And ultimately, the goal is having the food, the healthy, whole food, plant-based food, readily available for you when you're hungry. That's critical, right? Because if we've got junk in the house, or we don't have anything in the house readily available, then we're going to go through a drive-through, or we're going to eat something we're hungry and we've got to eat in the next hour, or we're going to be ravenous, right? So when we have that food readily available for us, that's going to make it so much easier for us as we're fueling our body with whole plant healthy foods. Lots of fiber, lots of nutrients, a lot of phytonutrients, and better health for ourselves. Getting some of those outcomes, again, weight loss, lower blood pressure, decreasing the chances of getting diabetes, and lowering cholesterol. Those are just some of the benefits that you can have by consuming more whole plant foods. That's it for now. I hope this was valuable for you. Looking for ways to make your plant-based journey of weight loss and consuming more plant-based foods that much more convenient for you. And stay tuned for my blog, because I've got 5 more ideas that could potentially help you and support you in your capacity for hitting your wellness goals. That's it for now. Would love it if you could like and share this, or even subscribe. Have a great day. Thanks so much. Take care. God bless.